because everything onwards from here is just memory work and reading on your own. Okay, so you're supposed to know the uses of radio waves. What are radio waves? Give examples of uses of radio waves. Yeah. So number one is radio waves. Then I assume you studied, so you should know what radio waves are. What are radio waves? Or at least if you can't define radio waves, then at least you can tell me the uses of radio waves.
In communication.
Can other than
Radio.
communication, radio, TV, you use radio waves have the lowest frequency and longest wavelength. Have you remembered the list of waves in order already? If you have, right, can you please write it down? Write the list of radiation down in sequence. Write the parts or components of the electromagnetic spectrum in sequence. Where is infra?
Invisible light and microwave.
In between, huh? In between visible light and micro. Okay. Gamma, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infra, micro, radio. Which side has the longest wavelength?
The radio wave.
Okay. Lowest frequency.
Radio waves.
Okay. So if they ask for users, you can write this. So then these are the specific examples. So radio broadcasting, transmitting television program, telecommunication, wireless networking, or radio waves. Okay, then microwaves. Microwave, the use is very easy to remember.
Microwave.
Microwave oven.
Microwave is used in the microwave.
Yeah, easy to remember that way, right? Microwave is used in the microwave oven. Then set TV, right? It's a bit okay, you see, right? This one, right, has telecommunication, transmitting television program and all that. So the microwave is used in satellite TV, which is another thing. But if you want to write TV, right, then you may confuse yourself with radio waves. So that one is one thing you have to remember. So they are often found in microwave ovens. This thing below, I don't think they will really test. So don't think have to remember that. Then if they ask for users, you can this and this is not that easy to remember. So usually most of my students they will just microwave oven. You can remember one more in case the question say please write the two users of microwave, then you are short of one. Just remember another one. Then infrared. Infrared is always in remote controllers. Have you taken a TV remote control? Then the end of the remote control, there's this glass looking thing. Then you press on it, you will see something red coming out. Something red, the blinking. That one is infrared. You can take a remote control and point at yourself, and then you see something red on top, right? That one is infrared radiation. Remote control.
Infrared is used in burger jams also.
Yes. So you also emit infrared radiation because hot objects will produce infrared. So you have night vision binoculars, thermal imaging. You go to malls. At one point of time when COVID was a very, very big thing, then they want to measure body temperatures, right? So then they put this thermal imaging device at the entrance of the mall, at the entrance of many places. Then you see when people walk past, you will get on the TV images, you will see the shadow of people, but they are in different colors like red, yellow, and green. You seen that kind of device?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is for thermal imaging. Then the third one,
is that if people have a fever and they walk
it will
into
become
the
red.
mall, it will become red.
Yeah, because the color changes according to the human body temperature. I mean the thermal imaging. So when temperature is high above 37, the person walk past, the thermal imaging device will show that the person is red color. Then maybe at lower temperature it shows green or yellow.
What color is the normal temperature?
You have to check because I also cannot tell you. Probably I can find out for you and then I tell you later. Then the third one is remote control. Then the last one is motion detectors. security systems. Then visible light is for your internet, optical fiber.
The sun
Yes.
is visible light.
And UV. The sun produces UV too. So visible light is produced by luminous objects. That means you have objects that produce light. So it is important for humans because you need light to see. Then they use for data transfer again in telecommunication. So it's TV, computer monitors, optical fiber, all this all uses visible light. There, photography, optical lights for your optical fiber for your internet. So this is the key, not the internet, optical fiber. So when you write your answer,
Endoscopy. It's endoscopy.
okay, endoscopy is like this. Like say if you have stomach issues or you have intestine issues, the doctor need to see what happens inside the stomach, right? Because there's no way the doctor shines a torch into your mouth and see what happens in your stomach, right?
Torch cannot reach that far.
The torch cannot reach that far. So endoscopy is this medical procedure. They have a tiny tube, okay? Then they will stick that tiny tube into your mouth down your throat.
Means you swallow it.
Yes. Then after that, right, then they pass the other end of the device will have light and it shines into the tube that they make you swallow. Then you will see images of your stomach or your digestive tract. It depends on where the tube goes. Then you see where the tube is at. They also do endoscopy from your nose. That means they stick this tiny tube into your nose and go down your throat or behind your throat. Then you will see what happens in your nose. If you stick it through your nose, you can see what happens in your nose, where the doctor probably cannot see with that torchlight. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I can give you one example, one experience. So there was one time I was eating, then halfway through my eating, I swallowed a fish bone. So then the fish bone is stuck below, that means throat, right, is below the throat. But when I move, right, like swallow, the saliva goes down, you can feel that pain down there in the throat. So I went to the normal doctor, the usual family clinic, and then I told them, hey, I think I swallowed a fish bone. Then so the doctor come and then he asked me to, I opened my mouth and he used the torchlight. He said, sorry, I can't see a thing. I mean, you can complain, but that piece of fish bone is nowhere inside because it's not within the area where the torchlight can be used. So then they sent me to the hospital. Then at the A&E, they use this thing to stick it into my nose. So they stick it into my nose and then go down the throat to see where that fish bone is. Yeah, so it's a real thing. Later I can send you images. Send the images to you. You can see later. Photography. Then UV. UV is also very commonly used right now during COVID because it has a sterilization function. So it will kill bacteria. It will kill harmful substances, some harmful living things. So the sun also produces UV. And then you use UV to identify whether your money, your notes is fake or not. Because once you shine the note under the UV, it will produce a print that you can't see in normal light. That's one. Then you use UV to kill bacteria, kill germs. I think kill the virus too, but yeah, that one I'm not too sure. That one is just from me. Okay, so you will see that if you go to malls, certain malls they have this attachment attached to the escalator, the handlebar of the escalator. Then the escalator moves, right? The handle of the escalator moves. You will pass by this device that shines UV light on the handle, and you will kill all sterilize the handlebar of the escalator. If you've been to malls, you may see one of these. Okay. So because they are in sunlight, you can use them in sunbaths also, where you tan yourself. You go for sun tanning. Yeah, sun tanning in the sun, or you have indoor tanning. That means they have this device that shines UV light on you, and then you get tan. X-rays and gamma rays are for medical purposes. Do I have to talk about X-rays?
Yeah.
So X-rays, right? What happens is like this. For someone who is very sick, like you kind of cough non-stop, and then or people with COVID these days, so they cough a lot, and then the doctors want to check whether you have maybe say a certain infection like pneumonia, etc. So what happens is right, they will get the patient to go for an X-ray. So the patient will lie down, and then the radiologist will shine this X-ray on you, and then the X-ray will be cast onto a film, and then you'll produce this film piece with black and white image. Say if you go for a chest X-ray, then you see your chest on that film. So then the doctor will use that film, the image of that film, and then decide whether that patient has pneumonia or COVID or what certain infection or not. Or it is also used for
Is it
people.
like MRI? Is it like the MRI machine? Then they
A
take X-ray.
X-ray is a cheaper version. MRI is very, very clear. It's very, very small. Like you can see all the minute, very small things. But X-ray cannot see the small things. It's similar. Like. MRI will also show you film. So let's say X-ray of the spine. So for someone, maybe say they have a slip disc, okay, then the slip disc is not that severe or is not that bad, right? You put the person through an X-ray, right? You might see that the spine is normal. But if you bring that patient for MRI, then because the MRI you can see all the minute stuff, right? Minute problems. So you can do a MRI on your spine, and then for the person with the maybe say slip disc, right? What happens is right, the MRI can show which part of the spine, right? The discs are out or that kind of thing. So it's similar, but MRI is better.
But how do they do an MRI on the spine? Because MRI is for the head.
No, MRI they can do anywhere also. So MRI they put you through this device, right? Then you lie down there, right?
Yeah.
Have you done the MRI
Yeah.
before?
Yeah.
So they put you through the device, which is very, very claustrophobic because it's very small. The MRI that device, the gap is very small, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I also have done an MRI, so I know. So this device push you in, right? Then they make you lie down there for at least half an hour or 15 minutes. So they can detect anywhere of your body. It's just that they target which part of the body that you look at. So if they target down here on the chest area, then you will see your spine.
Means the whole machine is the X-ray thing. It's not just the head part.
It's not just the head part, it's the whole thing. Because you've done your MRI on your head, I have done the MRI on the spine. So I know what's going on. Then there is another one called CT scan. It's about the same, but then the device is a bit bigger. It's also used to check for your internal parts of your body. Okay?
Yeah.
So X-rays, they use to check luggages, they use it to check cracks in pipes. So yeah, in radiography, which is whatever we were talking about just now. Then gamma ray.
MRI.
I cannot remember if MRI is using X-ray or is it something else? Because I think MRI uses a lot of magnetism and electricity. I have to check that one and get back to you. Gamma rays, they have the highest frequency, they have the most energy. So they also use it for medical situations, but they are usually used for cancer treatment because they can cause cell and tissue injury. So what happens?
Used for nuclear explosion and
Yeah. So they are used to kill cancer cells because let's say person with lung cancer. So if the person has lung cancer, then the part of the lungs, right, the cells will be cancer cells. It's not very possible for the doctor to cut away the cancer cell if the cancer cells are like everywhere on the lungs. The only way to do it is to replace the lungs or to remove the lungs, the affected part of the lung. So if the cancer cells are everywhere on the lungs, it's impossible to cut it out with a knife. So then they use gamma rays. So they expose the patient to gamma rays, and the gamma rays will kill the cancer cells, or rather target the area of the lungs that has the cancer cell, and then you kill the cancer cell with the radiation. But
isn't it you must be very careful not to kill the good cell?
you will end up killing part of the good cells around the bad cell. Cannot be avoided. But they can target and create to have a minimal loss lah. But they will damage the healthy cells. So they'll do that treatment for many sessions. I cannot remember how many sessions they would do, but the patient has to go for many of these radiotherapy sessions to get rid of the cancer cells. And I think it is not 100% efficient. So yeah. I mean, whoever has cancer, the prognosis is not very good. Okay, so you can kill the cancer cell along with some of your healthy cells, because when you expose cells to gamma ray, the gamma ray kills indiscriminately, kills everything. So you use it for let's see, I told you radiotherapy. Then they use it for sterilization of medical equipment. Okay, number 8. Okay, no problem. Next one. This electromagnetic wave is used for engineering applications in our world. Very vague.
What type of engineering?
What type of engineering? Let's see. Radio wave. Actually, I think the question is quite vague. So D is used for radiological application. So it's like your X-ray, your MRI, all this. Radio wave, microwave, use it for your satellite communication. I would think it's also an engineering application. So I think question a bit fake. This one, Philip, ultraviolet, wrong spelling, remote control. Can we not have atomic bomb? Let's do something else. Visible light, application of visible light. You can say for telecommunication, you can say for optical fibers. Then you have radiology, you have medical treatment. Remember, huh? Part 8. Red, orange, yellow. Okay. Next one. Name the component that has the shortest wavelength. Okay.